If you click this video, you're probably a lot like I was when I started trying to make YouTube videos a couple years ago. You're spending all this time trying to make the best channel that you can, spending hours and hours on filming and editing and refilming and re-editing, only to just post and pray that the YouTube gods smile favor upon you and that you get a few views. But what if I told you that there was a way that you could start taking matters into your own hands and tipping that YouTube algorithm in your favor every time you upload a video? Well, today I am going to walk you through a technique that I learned in my time working as an online marketer that, when applied to YouTube videos, can get you results like this on a small startup channel like mine. If you're new to the channel, my name is Sid and I make content helping streamers, content creators, and small business owners leverage the power of social media and online branding so that you can stop grinding and start growing. If that's something that you're interested in, please make sure that you do all the YouTube stuff and subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. If you're familiar with sites like Twitch, you probably know how hard it is to find content on there and to get your own content found on there. The reason for this is that they really lack a proper search algorithm. Search engines like Google use an algorithm to figure out what content is about based off of the metadata associated with it. Based on how popular the content and how relevant the metadata associated with that page is, they can then accurately suggest this content to people who'd be interested in it. The process of making your page easier to find by search algorithms is called search engine optimization. But what a lot of people don't realize is that YouTube works the exact same way. You know how everyone talks about how discoverable YouTube is? Well, SEO is what makes it so discoverable. So let me walk you through the 6 steps that I use to create well-optimized videos from start to finish, and by the end, you should be able to start doing it yourself and getting those views you deserve. When I first start thinking up a video, the first place that I go to is TubeBuddy, Keyword Planner. Now, I know a lot of videos have been made about this, and there's a lot of affiliate links out there, but I feel like a lot of people get this backwards. They make their video and they get everything done, and then they go to TubeBuddy and start typing in random keywords to see what they can squeeze in there and stuff to make their video a little bit more searchable. But if you want to make a truly search engine optimized video, you need to start this keyword planning way back at the beginning before you do anything else. Start by just typing in the basic idea of your video. In this case, we'll use SEO. You can see that there is a lot of competition for this keyword, so my chances of being seen just using the keyword SEO is going to be pretty slim to pretty much none. The reason for this is because SEO is what's called a short tail keyword. It gets a lot of searches, but there are also a lot of videos made about it, meaning that it is really hard to get your stuff noticed when you upload. Let's check something called a long tail keyword and see if we can get a little bit better results. So here we go. Here's YouTube SEO tutorial 2021. It's a little bit more specific. It seems like there are fewer people making videos about it. Maybe my chances of ranking on the first page be a little bit higher. We're starting to get there. This one has a little bit better volume, lower competing videos, but the issue is I'm making this video in December. So in about another month, the searches for YouTube SEO tutorial 2021 are gonna start slipping away. Nobody's going to be looking for that. So what can we do to stay ahead of the game? Let's try SEO tutorial 2022. That way, I'll be one of the first videos made about YouTube SEO in 2022. And when people start searching January 1st, mine will be one of the first ones to show up, and hopefully we'll get some good results. So there we have it. Perfect focus keyword for the video. YouTube SEO tutorial 2022. I almost said 2021. After I find my main keyword, I'm going to pick a few more keywords that my target audience would be looking for related to this video so that I can have a little bit better chance of hitting a few of these keyword search results instead of just my main focus one. I think for this one, let's try growing a gaming channel on YouTube and YouTube gaming channel views 2022. They seem like they have pretty good results. Those should be able to get me some views throughout the next year. Having these keywords picked out ahead of time helps you you work them into your content organically instead of just going back afterwards and trying to stuff them in places, because the YouTube algorithm has gotten really good at figuring out when people are keyword stuffing and trying to squeeze things in there where they don't naturally fit, and it'll just end up ignoring your video. The second thing that I make sure to do is writing my title. Writing a good YouTube title before you even get started on the video is based on the same principle of getting your keyword research out of the way. It builds a good foundation and informs your choices. The more you can do ahead of time to lay down this good base, the more views you're going to reap once you upload. I feel like personally finishing my title before I even start my script helps me stay focused and on point rather than just getting rambly and off topic. So you can basically just think of your title on your YouTube gaming video like a headline. Good headlines capture the attention of the reader in one of two ways, either by intrigue or a value proposition. An example of intrigue would be, "This YouTube secret will change your channel forever." And a value proposition would be, "Learn SEO in 6 easy steps." A few things to keep in mind when writing a good title: make sure that you're keeping it short, brief, to the point. Make sure you include keywords related to the search that we did earlier, and front load your keywords, meaning that you're putting the most valuable, eye-catching keywords that your target audience is going to be looking for at the beginning of the title. Step number 3 is writing a solid video description to help narrow down your target audience and further solidify what your video is going to be about. A good video description needs to not only keep the YouTube algorithm happy, but it needs to accurately describe to the viewer what that video is about, and not just end up being a keyword salad. Keywords are important, yes, but if the YouTube algorithm can't figure out what the video is about and your viewers can't figure out what the video is about, it doesn't matter how good your keywords are. Like we mentioned earlier, the YouTube algorithm has gotten insanely good at detecting when people are keyword stuffing and when bots are posting nonsense. And so if there's any bit of gibberish, they're just not going to show you in search results. Describe your video like you would be to a friend who just asked you what you were working on. There's no need to get too wordy, just a few sentences will do, but make sure that you're including those keywords that we talked about earlier and have them at the front, the first few sentences, just like with your title. Front load your descriptions. Think about when people are scrolling through YouTube, that first little bit gets cut off. Make sure that your description is valuable in the piece that they're actually going to see, and it's going to be something that has a hook that brings them in and works with your thumbnail to get them to click. So obviously that description is going to change every time you make a video, or at least it should. But you can also help your channel out by adding a brief template that you copy paste to the end of every description. Write a brief description of your channel, what you usually do, and work in some long tail keywords that your target audience will be interested in. And follow it up with some basics about your brand, like the equipment that you use, any affiliate links that you have, and any videos or playlists that might be related to the content in this current video. All of this is going to increase their time on your channel and help create this self-sustaining ecosystem of views that will increase watch time dramatically. Watch time is a huge factor in how YouTube chooses to promote content. So the longer you can keep people on your channel and actively engaged, the more YouTube is going to actively promote your content. So once you have all of this foundation stuff laid, you can start getting into making the actual video itself. Whether you choose to work from a script, or you're editing previously recorded footage, or you just kind of hop on, hit record, and wing it, make sure that you are keeping those keywords that we've been discussing in mind when you're creating the video. YouTube, as far as we know, unless you want to go down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole, doesn't actually listen to the audio of the video for search engine optimization purposes. However, they do convert videos into text for closed caption accessibility. Now, a lot of people don't think about this, but that text gets added to the metadata of your video. This can come into play when YouTube and Google are looking through the data deciding what your video is about. So building a strong foundation of metadata with these long tail keywords and, the best description ever and the greatest title, it's not going to get you anywhere if the video doesn't actually talk about those things. Also, as we talked about in the second step, YouTube and Google hate gibberish. YouTube auto closed captions tend to be only about 70% accurate, and that's on a good day. So when they're scrolling through your closed caption metadata and they see a bunch of gibberish, that can kind of ring some bot alarm bells in the algorithm, and they'll start treating you like you're just posting gibberish, even though it's not necessarily your fault. It might not be the biggest deal to the search engine algorithm, even though it does play a part, but for the sake of your community, make sure that you're at least going back, clearing up any blatant typos and gibberish. It will help you a little bit, and every little bit of optimization counts. 2 more steps and you will have a properly SEO'd video, I promise. So while your video is uploading, start working on your thumbnail. Personally, I do it at this step in the process. I know a lot of people recommend doing it back when you're working on the title and the description because it helps you create this nice little SEO trifecta. I'm gonna start giving that a try, but I wanted to share how I currently do things just for the sake of authenticity here. Now, I'm not a thumbnail expert, I'm not a trained graphic designer, but I've come across a few things in making YouTube videos that I feel like have helped me consistently make better and better thumbnails. So here we go, I'm gonna share them with you real quick. Number 1, keep mobile in mind. The majority of people watching YouTube are going to be on mobile, and you need to make sure that your thumbnail isn't unrecognizable when it's that small. 2, make sure that you are using bright colors that stand out in contrast against the palette of YouTube itself. You don't want to just blend in when people are scrolling through. Number 3, make sure that you are consistently adding branded elements to your thumbnails. This will start to make a pattern in your community members' minds over time, and they'll be more excited and make it more recognizable when your new content comes out. Number 4, make sure that you're not going too crazy with your fonts. Keep it simple, even though it's tempting to start finding this crazy special fancy ass font that's gonna blow everyone away. Just don't. Just make it simple and easy to read and make it stand out. That's all you need to worry about. Number 5, use outlines and glow effects to make certain objects stand out and guide the attention of the viewer through the image. And number 6, last one, make sure that you're keeping the placement of the timestamp on YouTube in mind when you're creating your thumbnail. Don't put any important information behind there or anything that's going to make it hard to read if it goes behind the timestamp. All right, so the video's uploaded, the description's in, the title's up, the thumbnail's there. I know you probably think you're done, right? But you're not, because I have one more tip that is going to really surprise a lot of you, because I know I was shocked when I figured out how to do this, and everyone that I have told during my streamer consultations that I do has been really surprised by this fact. Did you know that you can add hashtags to your YouTube video just like on Twitter and Instagram and get some added discoverability? You can use these hashtags to basically add your video to a big playlist of other similar content. The important part is to make sure that these hashtags are actually related to your content. This is the same as when we were researching keywords. Make sure that they're not going to confuse the YouTube algorithm, and they're going to actually be something that people interested in your video would be clicking on or searching for. Don't use really busy, high traffic hashtags. Try to make sure that it's a hashtag with a relatively small number of videos uploaded to it, but make sure that they are high watch videos. These high view videos are going to push traffic towards that hashtag. So if there's not a lot of videos, but there's a lot of traffic coming to the hashtag, then your chance of being seen on that hashtag page is going to be much higher. All you have to do is add 3 hashtags anywhere in your YouTube description, and YouTube will automatically place them above your title, in between your title and the video. And the more you use these hashtags consistently on your channel, the better chances you have of getting views picked up from those hashtags. Remember how you're supposed to be using branded elements in your thumbnails to create instant brand recognition when people are scrolling through? This is going to work to your benefit because they'll see that you are consistently ranking this hashtag and you are well well known in this niche apparently. You're consistently creating content that relates to this subject. They're going to be much more likely to click on somebody who they see 10 times as opposed to somebody they only see maybe once or twice. If your thumbnail design is all over the place, though, it breaks that visual pattern, and they won't recognize your presence in that niche quite as easily. So, there you go, 6 steps that will lead you to a search engine optimized YouTube gaming video, get you those views. Is there anything that you've heard about regarding YouTube SEO that you feel like I didn't cover well enough here? Well, pop down into those comments and let me know, we can chat about it. If you want to learn more about this stuff, online content creation, marketing, branding, make sure that you, hit that sub button. I always appreciate it. Pop over to Twitter and hit me a follow there too. I like chatting with everybody and getting to know them. At Sid Lance is my handle. I also stream here every Monday, 10 a.m. Good luck on your journey, and remember, stop grinding, start growing.